The 1970s was a period of great churning in Indian politics, society, and it was a period of intense people's struggles that led finally to the emergency being declared by Indira Gandhi. A lot of us as students those days had to take positions. Where do you stand? Struggle against attacks on democracy, against emergency, the working class rights, what is happening to the country. So it was a big political turning process. Well, major challenges we had to face was the continuous erosion of students' rights in the educational institutions, the continuous narrowing of education as a right, and the beginnings of what is now very rampant is the privatization of education, and education being converted into a privilege and not as a right. The attacks on democracy and democratic rights of the students' movement within the campuses. So there was a whole gamut of issues, from the restrictions on the growth of education to the attacks on the democratic rights of the students in education, and repression. There was very intense repression, particularly in the period leading up to the emergency and during the emergency. JNU was probably the only university in the country where we had a one-day strike against emergency, a three-day strike against emergency. You had situations where there was a broad daylight kidnapping of SFI students by the Delhi police. It's probably the only university in the students' movement that was figured in the top 6 cases of emergency excesses examined by the Shah Commission then. But the united strength of the students frightened the ruling classes. I'll tell you, during emergency, Indira Gandhi was the chancellor of the university. So she had to come for the university court meeting. So we from the SFI said that we won't allow her to come into the campus. What were we? Those days of over 2,000 students. But the Indian establishment was so frightened that they shifted the venue of the court meeting from the university to Vigyan Bhavan. So Indira Gandhi never came there. Well, the fight against emergency was very, very big in Kerala. Fight emergency was very, very, very big in Bengal. And in fact, the Bengal comrades were fighting. Was an emergency situation from beginning of the 1970s, when the rest of the country had to fight from 75 for about 5 years before that, the Bengal students were able to fight. And let me tell you, during emergency, I was also on the ground. So I was my lawn tennis captain of the university. So being underground, the best way was to go into the championship. So Dhanbad was where. So I went to Calcutta, first time in my life. There was not a single SFI flag, not a single SFI student you could find in Presidency College, Jadavpur University, nowhere. But the day the emergency was withdrawn, on all these colleges and the thing, you would find an SFI flag. Where did they come from? Suddenly. So a lot of underground activity was organized and very efficiently done in Bengal, in Kerala, in Andhra.